Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. My name is Marvin, call sign W0MET, and this is going to be an unedited edition coming to you live from a park. It's a beautiful day here on Monday, just before Hamvention, and this is going to be, part of our Hamvention talk per se for this podcast. This is also the inaugural first video podcast that will be going up on YouTube. So you'll get audio and video at the same time coming to your Apple Podcasts now. And I can actually record this and upload this as one video and one audio segment. And I don't have to, keep splitting them out and recording them separately or doing whatever. I can just do this all as one. And because I'm not obviously in my studio today, we're going to be doing this from a park here. It's a beautiful day here in Eagan, Minnesota. And just wanted to get outside for a little bit and enjoy some time outside and relax a little bit. So we are just down to 5 days. That's right, just 5 days before Hamvention. And that is when amateur radio operators from around the world are going to descend on the Greene County Fairgrounds and have 30,000 of us talking to vendors and seeing new products and seeing what people are showing off, the tailgating areas. I mean, this is the biggest ham radio event of the year, and if there's not a year I haven't ever been excited about Hamvention, but I think this year I am super excited to see what's going to come, because there's so many products that we've been waiting for from Kenwood, and ICOM's got a potential, the 206 out there, the XC, I think the XC 206 if I remember correctly off the top of my head, and it's just other new vendors that are going to be there this year. And so I know people are already asking, hey, are you going this year? When are you arriving? Have you reserved your hotels yet? And now you know that Hamvention is literally almost there when you start getting answered all these questions. And so if you've never been to Hamvention before, let me tell you, it's really more than a ham fest. It is like a Super Bowl or Daytona 500. It's better than that even. I think it's more like a family reunion. I get to see so many people I've seen before, get to meet new people. I get to meet other YouTubers again, get to see them, get to shake their hands, say hi, other content creators out there, and some good friends with, some, again, just get to say hi and say hi to them is always good too. But I think this is just the event of the year that everyone looks forward to. And again, you've got manufacturers unveiling, I'll get it right in a second, radios and accessories. You've got the massive flea market area. I mean, if you've not been to Dayton and seen their flea market area and in their track area, it is just packed full of cars, and it looks like it's gonna be beautiful weather for Dayton this week. I'll see if I can bring up some weather in a minute here. We'll come back to that. But there's forums and presentations galore. And some of them, like Parks in the Air, is just gonna be packed. There's clubs and organizations from all over the country. Other Hamfest organizations and boards will be there, inviting you to their Hamfest as well. And you'll see a lot of new cutting edge technology. We'll see what Flex and Yaesu bring out. They have not announced anything yet at this point at all. And so, in between that, you'll run into other people. You're going to go find some of the good food vendors there, and hopefully have some really good coffee there. There's one food truck there that does have some coffee, and I've been pretty excited about that. So, but as much as the radio and the gear is cool, and there are a lot of neat things to go see and do. Again, a lot of great forums at Hamvention. It's the people that make all the difference. Good to go back and shake hands with vendors I've known for many years now, I've worked with in other ways. And just people are super excited, super friendly to be there. It's the atmosphere, the environment, everything all encompassed. It just really makes Hamvention what Hamvention is. It's like no other Hamfest. I mean, Huntsville may be the friendliest Hamfest, but Hamvention is just different. And it's so many different stories and I'm hoping to capture this year. I've got a neat idea that I'm not going to tell you what it is here, but I'm going to try and do a short video clip of some things, little snippets, and see how that goes over this year. If I can get people to do it at randomly, walking up and video recording them. So we'll see if I can make that happen or not. I've got some neat idea I'm going to try and work with. So I'm hoping, I've said this every Hamfest, and I'm sure some of you noticed, like, why is he putting out a Hamcation video 2 months after Hamcation? It's just because that's where things went with my time, and getting the availability to sit down and do it on a Saturday when it was crappy, shitty, rainy weather. So, but I'm hoping to get a short video clip out. I mean, if I can just make it 5 minutes, it doesn't have to be a lot. I think it'd be really cool to see what stood out, what I saw for the day, and maybe catch some unexpected moment of some sort. That's what I would hope for. So again, there's just so many things to see and do. If you are looking for a piece of gear that you haven't been able to find otherwise, I would probably recommend going out to the tailgate area first. Vendors are going to be there all weekend long, but that certain piece from whatever you're looking for, from whatever company, is not going to be there come Saturday afternoon, Friday afternoon. It's one of those things that people will find really good deals, and they will scoop them up right away. Now, if you find a good radio or something that you're looking for, you find, let's say, a Yaesu FT891, and it's for $600, I'm probably going to guess that it's not going to be there when you come back if you're going to try and scoop up a deal on Sunday afternoon to see if you can get it for, $550 or $500. It's going out to the flea market, have your cash available, have it ready. Going out to the flea market could be dangerous. I'm just going to walk out there and see what you got. I'm just browsing, and you're bound to find something. There's a lot of neat trinkets, and maybe this is the year you go find a old radio and you want to try and figure out how to renew it. And maybe you pay $20 for it. And, it's like, okay, $20 is $20, as everybody says. But maybe it's worth putting something into it. Who knows? Maybe you can find some old parts. Maybe you just want to get into electronics a little bit. And that's well worth it. If you think you're going to be buying something big, I would suggest a little cart of some sort, or finding a way to park closer to the gates in the back of near the tracks, so you can carry that out, because nobody wants to carry a 60-pound amplifier all the way across the fairgrounds, all the way out to the parking lot in the back 40 of the parking. So, it's one thing if you're carrying just a box of coax or HTs or a microphone, some connectors you might need or something like that. But when you start carrying a 60-pound amplifier, I think you start to feel that weight pretty quick. And so, it happens every year. You see people doing it all the time, and it's not unheard of or unseen, but it is kind of something to think about if you're looking for a bigger piece of equipment, or maybe you found that old Collins or that old Heath radio that you want to try and just have as a vintage radio on your shelf for looks, whether it maybe work or not. But it was something cool you think that would look nice in your room, and you're trying to show a little bit of the heritage of ham radio. So, there's obviously a lot of different things are going on from the Hamvention side for forums, and they're always very good. Sometimes they're very standing room only, especially the POTA one. And I think this year they've got, kind of the POTA 2.0. A lot of new things coming out from POTA. So I think a lot of people are going to be packed into that room. Some very good speakers on that as well. And so, a lot of people are always talking about field operations, lightweight antennas, new battery systems, compact radios. You got, companies like, TID Radio or Radio IT that, I think Radio IT is going to be there. No, maybe not TID Radio, but Radio IT is what I'm thinking of. And they've got, a lot of different radios, of smaller versions, and, some of the Chinese radios can really compact them down. And maybe you're looking for that Xiegu G90, I don't know. But Hamvention usually kind of gives us the heads up, kind of gives us the paving the way, per se, of what ham radio could look like in the future. It kind of tells us what is coming, what type of new radios and things with SDR and waterfalls and digital, platforms, more digital radios that people are trying to use, and all this new software that's coming out. So I think it really tells us where it's heading, potentially, in some of my thought. Furthermore, if you're, I'm just thinking about it just from my weekend of exhaustion. I'll get back to that in a minute, maybe. But if you're walking around Hamvention, have good tennis shoes. Wear good tennis shoes. I say that, and I'll see people out there with flip-flops and thongs and, some loafers and flat-bottom shoes and some boots and maybe some people are really comfortable in boots or cowboy boots or work boots or something. But for me, when I'm standing there all day talking to vendors, that sort of thing, I can't do it. I've got to have good tennis shoes on that are very comfortable and easy to wear. So, hopefully you will think about the same. Bring water. There is the fire department ambulance there. They offer free water. You can do water refills. I would suggest getting maybe some like the Gatorade packet or something to maybe help flavor the water a little bit. They're calling for really good weather. So let me pull up the weather while I'm thinking about it here. If I can pull up my weather app. If I have that handy, I thought I did. I do. And we're going to search for Xenia EX. Come on. Keypad is not working. Xenia, Ohio. And so we're looking at the 10-day forecast. Calling for rain on Wednesday, 75% chance at 65 degrees. And this is not the forecast I saw earlier today. So I wonder if something changed. That's coming off of Apple Podcast or Apple Weather, but weather.com showed something different. So let's take a look at them both and see what we get. And let's see how accurate this is going to be. Thursday, 42 and 61. 61 is a high, partly sunny. Friday, cloudy, high 66. On Saturday, 40% chance of rain, which is not abnormal for Dayton, and it's going to be a high of 84. And Sunday, cloudy, high of 84 as well. So let's just type in weather.com, because there is nothing better than knowing what your weather is going to be, where you're going. And I'm going to go search for that location of weather.com. Xenia, Ohio. Let's see what the actual weather channel shows here. Come on. It is not wanting to click on my... There we go, Xenia, Ohio. Let's go 10-day. And so again, Friday, 70 degrees, cloudy. Saturday, 85 and sunny. No rain showing for Saturday. And this is from weather.com, where Apple Weather showed rain. And then Sunday was 86. So 85, 86 degrees. And if there is rain that comes around, it will become very humid very quickly. So it just always tends to be that way. And it could be a little humid anyway. But again, back to my initial comments was to make sure you are always wearing good shoes, maybe potentially something more than just a very airy, light type of tennis shoe to something more can withstand a little bit of water, because there will be water puddles around there. So, that would be good. If you're flying into Dayton, how are you going to get there from Columbus or Cincinnati or, Dayton, however you're coming in? Make sure you pack baggage to be able to hold something more. And if you're, driving, obviously you might have a car or a truck. You can, or camping. I think camping's full. Cedar Creek and also, I think there's another something Chavez or Caesar Chavez, or Caesar Creek or something like that. Those are all the campgrounds are full. I think Dayton campground is full. So I don't know if you're looking for a hotel and you're coming in late doing this, you're going to be out there 45 minutes, probably to an hour to get to Dayton in the morning because the hotel's just full. If you could make it to the Flex Banquet, which if you haven't already bought your tickets, you probably won't be able to make it there. Thursday night, I'm going to miss it, unfortunately, which I was planning on being there. A guy from the Bouvet Island Expedition will be talking about his trip there. And Friday night, the marketing manager from ARRL, Bob, man, I can't think of his last name all of a sudden. He'll be talking about his career in amateur radio. And from ARRL, he's the marketing manager, Bob Ingerbitsen. He'll be there. So those are two good speeches. Looking forward to. Unfortunately, I missed the Bouvet one. If you can catch me on Saturday morning, I'll be at the World Radio League booth from open till 4 hours later, so about noon or 1. I'll be there at the World Radio booth working with that. And I think you'll see like POTA Power there. You've got Levi, who you can catch each week on Ham Shack TV there most weeks with us. He's kind of started a newer channel, newer to amateur radio. So I think he'll be there as well. Rodney from World Radio League won't be able to be there. Well, he's one of the people on the Discord all the time. He's working. Trying to, of course, you'll get Andy, N0APX, will be at the booth every day as well, working at World Radio League. So stop by and say hi to us there. I think temporary offline will probably be hanging out at Radio Oddity. And you got lots of other vendors like Bridgecom and your major players of course ICOM and Yaesu and Flex and all those. You'll have gold medal ideas and I believe things like Wolf River Coil, Quicksilver Radio, Tower Radio, Diamond Common Antennas, the little Tar Heel Company. They'll all be at Dayton. So your typical vendors are always there. I know there's some newer ones there as well. I think Rocket Works will be there. Of course, I'll be interested in talking to them because I need to run some cable into the house. So a lot going on there, and really super excited about it. So I've got some cool little pins that are really fancy little writing pins, along with stickers I'll be handing out. So if you find me, I'll have my shirt on with the Ham Radio Guy logo walking around, so you can find me pretty easily, and should have everything I need from that. So if you see me, definitely stop, say hi. Let me know you're a friend of the podcast, and I really appreciate meeting new listeners and new supporters and viewers of the channel, and so I greatly appreciate that. That's probably one of my favorite parts of the events. People come up and say, "Oh, you're Marvin. You're the ham radio guy." It's like, yeah, that's me. It's just, just a normal ham radio guy. So, trying to put all this, together for you. And if you can't make it out, don't worry. We'll do our best to bring Hamvention to you as well, and give you all the coverage we can throughout the weekend. With anything else I have going, we've got the weather in there. I'll be getting in late Thursday night, and I know there's more that we could, be talking about, and I'm sure, again, got the vendors in there. The gates open up at 9, get there early in line, 8:30, and we should be able to, get a good place in line for yourself to get in the gate fairly early. And again, go hit those swaps out in the tailgate area right away. That's one of the most important things you can do. And so before we wrap up, just want to say don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Again, out on Apple Podcasts now, you're getting this in a video platform upload. And so this will actually be in a video platform. So this is coming to you raw from Eagan, Minnesota here, not in the studio. I'm enjoying the great outdoors and recording this podcast. You probably hear some noise in the background, but again, you can find me on Spotify and iHeart and more platforms, but your video podcast will come to you from Apple Podcast, or this may actually get uploaded to YouTube as well. We'll see if it goes that far. I'm not sure, but it does go to YouTube as well. I just know that the video feed will feed through the Podbean over to YouTube yet, so I'll have to figure that out if that's not quite happening. But I'll be doing a couple of short quips and clips like this for the weekend for coverage event. Again, I'm Marvin Turner, W0MET. The countdown to Hamvention has officially started, and we're super excited to see you, meet you, and hopefully, talk to you at Hamvention. So we'll see you in Xenia for now, and 73.